Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Taste of Dragons, the TATE'S, video game podcast that all you dandelions listen to. This week on the podcast, we'll be talking about the line Gwent down to Georgia, the gift that keeps on giving news. Our topic is questioning, and this week's dragon has us giddy.
Brian, were you the Riddler in another life?
I might have been.
100%.
I was in one of the shows. But yeah, as always, my name is Brian.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Troy.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Joe.
Yeah, and you might have just heard Lewis there. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome back.
Yeah, back for...
Yeah, it's fun times.
Lewis, how does it feel being one of the founding members of the Taste of Dragons podcast?
It's an honor.
Really?
It's an honor, yeah. I listen and I'm like, these guys are so funny. Funnier without me, but I was there first, but whatever.
But then how does it feel to then abandon us in the cold wind on a cold night with the tumbleweed blowing through our hair?
I was wondering.
They're tiny tumbleweeds.
I was curious how many more things you were going to say to describe the loneliness. And you know what? It feels right.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it sucks because I listen and I'm like, oh man, well, I'll be down there soon. So.
Right. Yeah. Which then leads us to your triumphant return.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this is all your master plan, isn't it?
This is it, man. Full circle, going full circle. I'm not going back to New York, just staying here.
Right here in this room.
In this room.
Right.
Sorry, Joe.
I live here now.
He is sleeping on this table. Move the mics.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh my God, it wouldn't be the first time. You're right.
Wait, is that real?
That's real.
Do you want to share?
I mean, no, not me.
Okay.
That wasn't me.
Moving on.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I'm glad you're back for the last episode of 2019.
Wait a second. Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's the end.
It's the end.
We've made it.
We have.
We did it. We're done.
Wow.
Hey, look,
Full
Ma, we
year.
made it.
It's the end of the year as
and
we know it.
Oh, man.
We rehearsed that in the car coming over. Thank you very much. You're
Nailed
welcome.
It. Nailed it.
Nailed it, sure.
But yeah, video games have been pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I had a great year.
I had a decent year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you play a video game for this week?
Sure.
I sure hope so. We'll find out in about 10 minutes.
It feels like old times.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Exactly. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Nice, Brian.
I
Yeah.
like it. Beautiful.
So, yeah, you want to guys just get down to the games then?
Yeah.
Let's
What
do
are you
it.
playing this week? All right.
What
are you playing?
All right. So, you know what, Lewis? Since you said you had a game to play this week, what have you been playing this week?
Yeah. So I played a little bit of The Outer World.
Oh, okay.
Not to be
Yeah.
confused with Outer Wilds.
Yes,
Correct.
not to be confused, which they...
I am contractually
Definitely
obligated
often are.
to say that anytime someone mentions those two games.
I confuse them all the time.
Not with me.
No.
No, I'm more confused when you say that.
Oh, man.
This is the third-person RPG.
It's essentially Fallout in space.
Okay.
This is Fallout with
It's
colors.
just Fallout with
Alright,
colors.
alright.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, perfect way to describe it. Fallout with colors. Yeah. Because, I mean, the people from... some people from Bethesda left and made this game.
Right, they were the people that worked
The
on
original Fallout game.
Vegas.
No, New Vegas.
New
This is
Vegas.
Obsidian.
Oh, New Vegas.
Obsidian.
Right. You're right.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
Yeah. They worked on New Vegas.
Yeah.
And you can tell though, because it's a pretty good. It's lots of fun. I mean, I haven't touched the main story again for hours on end.
Hey, that's how you know
That's
it's,
that game.
it's one of those types of games.
Definitely, and it's a lot more colorful, which makes it more exciting. For
Is
me.
it like Side Quest City, pretty much?
Nonstop?
Okay. Is it
Nonstop.
meaningful side quests, or are they kind of just meandering?
No.
Hey,
They're
go get my pail over here. I need
they're
water.
really meaningful. Like there's a bunch of. I've been doing some side
Go
quests.
get my grandfather's pail.
My grandfather's pail. He gave it to me. I need to pour water.
That's meaningful.
12 steps over there. I'm too busy standing here
I'm
doing
too
nothing
busy.
to do it myself.
This guy has it. Can you grab it from him? He said he would give it to me, but I don't want to go over there.
But it's meaningful, which means that they were just in the war and they can't.
Oh my God, there's been so many people in the war in this game.
Really?
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, I was in the war. You don't know what I went through. Anyway, can you walk over there?
But they are actual real stories.
Yeah, they're actually really
standalone.
interesting because like you kind of start as collecting like money from people for like a debt.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're that person.
Yeah,
Oh.
like
What
that
do they
was
call those?
Money
Loan
lender.
sharks? No, the people, the muscle.
Muscle?
For loan sharks.
bounty hunter. I don't know.
No, you're right. There's a name for it.
There is a
there
name.
Henchman?
I don't
Shark?
I don't know. Debt collector.
Enforcer.
Enforcer. There you go.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's good.
yeah.
Enforcer. We'll go with that.
And when
Leg breaker.
Leg
Leg
breaker.
breaker.
Hey, yo,
Even
leg
better.
breaker.
Get over here.
It's like, hey,
and break his arms. I know what I just said.
I know what I said, but leg breaker, break the arms.
I'm trying new things.
Think out of the box.
Exactly.
Come on, leg breaker. You get this. You can break an arm. You can do
Believe
it.
in you.
You can do it, leg breaker.
Same
break an
motion, different limb. I got you.
arm. Can you stand on your head for me real quick?
But yeah, some of the side quests are pretty meaningful. Like the people just go into like their heavy backstory. Like, yeah, my mom died and I was orphaned, and I don't have the money because I just tried to save my daughter who also died. And I'm
Okay.
like, oh my god.
I like how video
That-
games have like 2 levels. Either it's like I need 3 apples and they're over there and I can see them and I don't feel like it,
And nothing
or
matters.
there's like everyone in my family's dead and it's
Yeah.
dark and I have mental trauma.
Oh
There's
my
no
God.
in between.
I guess
level.
no.
Does that feel natural? I mean, that sounds heavy and serious, but
mean-
does it feel natural the way they're giving you that information, or is
Yeah.
it they just dumping it on you?
No, I guess it feels natural considering the circumstance of me literally coming up to them. Hey, so that grave digger wants the money you paid him to dig your grave for when you die. So where's the money?
Yikes!
Yeah, so it's even darker because it's a grave digger that literally digs people's graves before they die for them, so when they die.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they have
Did-
to pay for that.
Did he already dug the grave?
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Oh,
Yeah,
rookie
I know.
mistake.
Always
right?
get payment up
right?
front.
But that's why I'm the leg breaker.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
see,
right,
that's why.
yeah,
So like,
yeah.
it's a rookie mistake, but then at the same time, yeah.
So why don't you just go to an inner world or something? Why are you on this?
that
This sounds like a horrible place to be.
that was the planet that like you start on. Like you crash on this planet, and like
Okay.
that's the first
Oh.
little.
You crash
okay,
on the
okay.
planet,
Yeah.
so you get to know the inhabitants. Bad
Yeah.
stuff has happened here.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're trying to fix your ship and get home.
Yeah, completely. Trying to fix my ship,
and then you
get,
go to different planets on the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good,
Yeah.
good game.
Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Very Fallout, but in space, which is funny because Bethesda is coming out with essentially Fallout for space, Starfield.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I mean,
yeah.
we
That's
haven't
so
seen
far
any
in-
pictures of it.
I
so,
know,
like,
that's like 5 years away.
yeah,
In the most-
2025. Yeah.
2025.
And the winner for most generic name for a video game goes to Starfield.
Hey, well, we did see that. We got a chance in Watch Dogs 2. We hacked into the servers and we got a chance to see the one
That's
little
true.
tidbit of it.
That's true.
That was the game within the game that
Yeah.
they scrapped
In
all
the
of
game,
it
you got
from.
to hack in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You actually got to hack into their studio.
It was real.
It was actually
Okay.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Was it just the title card again?
No, you actually got to see a little bit of gameplay, but
Oh,
you know
okay,
that
okay.
doesn't exist anymore because they completely started over.
Yeah, they scrapped it.
It
Scrapped
was
it.
meta.
Yeah.
But cool.
But yeah.
Glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
game.
I lament that I will not play that this year.
No?
Yeah, I wanted to. It would just
Yeah.
seem too big to.
It is a lot, which is why I've barely touched the surface of it. So
Yeah, I feel like this game is like everybody who complains when somebody introduces somebody in like Star Wars or something, and then you never hear from them again. It's like, oh, well, this is what happened to them. Their ship crash landed, and they're just trying to get off. They're
Right.
still there.
that's 100% accurate. It's like, yeah, you know what? That's not in continuity because that person never comes back. Yeah, they do. They're just stranded.
They're stranded.
Oh,
It's a big universe. They're just somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Suspension of disbelief.
that's
Maybe
where I
they're doing
live.
something important somewhere else.
Yeah. Or
Well-
not. Maybe they're just having fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, cool. That is definitely one of the most loud games of this year.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. very
Some
good.
say it's out of this world.
Yeah.
Oh, someone else talk.
All right. Well, nice game there, Lewis.
Thank you.
Joe, what about you?
Unfortunately, I can say I probably put in another 10, 15 hours of Dr. Mario.
No, girl. No.
Oh,
no,
man.
unfortunately.
There's no
We're
unfortunateness.
not. We're not shaming here.
It was that unfortunate to me. I feel bad. I tried to load up Aladdin again, but I literally just started seeing red. It also because it's a lava level. But I started seeing red, and I was like, I can't do this. I need
many
to I need
memories.
to unwind, and that's what Dr. Mario does. It
And
helps
that's
me unwind.
beautiful.
Only
As well
happy
you
holiday
should.
games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what is needed.
Okay,
So-
you're stranded on an island with one of the characters from Dr. Mario. Their doctor version, and they're going to take care of you. Who do you pick to take care of you on this island, keep you alive?
Okay, do I actually have to get sick? Because I don't ever get sick.
It's survival stuff.
It's
maybe
survival stuff?
you'll get a sunburn, or maybe you'll fall off a tree, or
Yeah.
get
Maybe
attacked
you
by
know-
a shark.
Yeah, maybe you know
infection
you
or something.
never get sick, so you don't have to worry about somebody doing that. But you know, you might break
Or
a leg.
you cut your arm, you need someone to
Yeah,
bandage it
you're a
up.
doctor.
My instant want is Dr. Daisy. just because
Yeah.
I really like Daisy the most. But I would probably actually choose the Yoshi because then I could also use him as a ride.
Ooh, smart.
I feel like he.
Smart.
answer.
That's it.
And if it comes to it, eat them.
Oh my
Right,
God!
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't eat one of the babies. I can't eat
No.
Bowser. He probably
Too
tastes
tough.
terrible.
Too tough.
But a
too
Yoshi,
gamey.
that's your ride. That's your doctor. And if it, you know
Yeah.
what?
That's your,
Too gamey.
that's your tauntaun.
That's your tauntaun.
Oh, I did
That's
do
your
that.
tauntaun.
Yeah.
Gets too cold, cut him open, live on the inside of him. It'll be fine,
Yeah.
He's your
That's
ride
fine.
ticket and your meal ticket.
right?
Yeah,
So
and,
I'd
you
probably
know,
go with Dr. Yoshi.
come Halloween, you can wear them for.
For all your coconut friends
Yeah,
who
right.
have
By,
made.
yeah, by yourself on
When-
the island. Halloween.
Dr. DK obviously is going to show up and be like, yo, why didn't you pick me? And I'm like, well, I can't ride you.
He's like, you're literally on an island. That's my thing.
You just eat bananas,
I have
man.
a whole island with my name on it.
It's fair. You know
Like
what?
DK, bananas do not solve every medical emergency.
They don't.
He's
Yeah,
like,
well,
you're wrong.
But when push comes to shove, DK's killing you. You're not. He's eating you. You're
I'm
not
eating you. Let's be honest.
I could eat, there would be no hope
He
there.
has that moment where he looks over to you and you're just a giant banana in his eyes.
You look over at him and he turns into one of those turkeys and you're like, yeah, roasted turkey. He looks over at you and you actually do just get squished like a banana.
Yeah. He just does that thing when you break a banana in half. But it's just
Yep.
you.
Yeah, he doesn't even peel it.
He doesn't even pay
No.
He's a
No.
monster.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
But yeah, that was
great.
my week.
Nice.
Dr. Mario.
that got
yeah.
dark.
oh, cool.
Yeah, it
Huh?
did.
That got dark.
Hey, we're talking about doctors. That's life or death.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta
true.
ask the hard questions.
You're in an island.
Hey,
You're
if we
abandoned.
wanted it to get dark, my question would have been if your insurance company would cover one character,
Oh,
what would
man.
it be? But I don't want to go there.
No, that's dark.
Even I
That's
have
dark.
my lines.
There's no way DK has insurance.
Definitely.
He's your
no,
no,
no.
he's your no insurance option.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can you imagine the insurance Dr. Bowser would have to have?
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like only like the super rich people are going to Dr. Bowser
Yeah.
because he has like I don't know some type of method that is just kind of unconventional.
He throws you into another castle.
He throws you into a castle. This will heal you, right?
This
He
will
doesn't
heal
heal you. He's just like, oh, fixed now. Another castle.
You're
Next.
Never had a complaint.
Don't go to Dr. Wario. Those tools are just not sanitary.
Nope.
He's eating throughout the entire process.
done. Yep.
Oh,
But although, have you seen his teeth though? He's probably make a good dentist.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. Yeah, the best dentist.
They got to be fake.
They got, what?
Maybe.
there would.
I mean, you know what? Maybe he does like kind of chew on people. I mean, they could be just
He
fake.
eats a motorcycle.
He eats his motorcycle. Yeah, those are fake teeth. Those are like steel teeth or something. I
Or
don't know.
those just not real motorcycles.
Just,
No, they support his weight.
they support
have
his
to be
weight.
real
He's not a small. He's not a small man.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right, Joe. Well, good game. I will go next. My insomnia has hit me this week, so I haven't
Okay.
been having that much sleep. So I've been playing my time in Portia while also on my secondary monitor watching some streamers and whatnot,
Sweet.
passing the time. So the game I want to talk about is kind of tied to both of them because there's a new game that you can play with a streamer that's called Stream Captains.
What?
So what it is it's one of those. So it's for people like the game that I like to watch is like Heroes of the Storm. And so normally you're watching him and he's doing his match or whatever. And then there's sometimes, and then after he's done with his match, he has to queue up for another match. And he's doing like all of his drafting and everything. So it takes a couple of minutes, right? So this game is designed for those types of people. So the game is you can sign up, you can be a captain, or the streamer's the captain. You join in his game, and you can place units on a battlefield along with everybody else who's watching.
So
cool.
It's its own game. It's
It's
not
its
like a
own game.
variation of Heroes of the Storm.
It is not. This can be played by anyone. This is just designed for people who play like Dota or Counter Strike
That
or
is-
something. So it's in between rounds.
That
you
is
can
super
still
smart.
be interacting with your
For these streamers that
Yeah.
are usually really good. You have to be
Oh, yeah.
pretty good to be
Yeah.
a streamer. It's
Yeah.
hard to get matched with someone who's as good as you. So those load times can take 10
yeah.
minutes, 20 minutes or longer. So if your money is your streamers and you got nothing to look at, here's a way to
Yeah, exactly.
Connect
and it's,
with them.
and it's another way to So you can build like your person around him. There's only so many spots on the field.
Damn.
You see like the enemy, so you also have to. It's kind of like rock paper scissors. Some
yeah.
units are good against other units.
What does this look like? Is this a top-down pixel thing?
It's like a pixel thing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
Okay.
simplified. It is very much just like, hey, look, here's just something to do.
first person, or you control a little character?
No. You just it's kind of like auto chess where you just
Okay.
put down a person on a board.
So is it like
And
everyone in chat is playing against
everyone
the
on
streamer?
chat? No, it's all cooperative. So
Oh,
you're playing
nice.
against like an AI board or whatever, and there's all these different enemies on there. And then you can place down like a warrior, an archer. You can unlock more units as you play more.
Wow.
You can level up your units. So it's very interactive, and you can place down.
That's brilliant.
And you can place down a unit once every 5 minutes.
What do you get if you win?
You get like more. You get like gold coins to unlock more units to level up your units. So.
Does your progress carry over to different streamers?
Yes, so that's the other thing.
Okay.
You can actually play with multiple streamers at the same time if you
Gross.
unlock enough units.
Okay.
So and what it does is when you first sign on, you sign on with your with a web browser. And you go into it and you place down your units and everything. But when it actually comes time to play the match, when you actually hit go, it actually kicks you out of the game because you're supposed to watch it on the streamer. So you're supposed to. So it's like, oh, okay, watch it on Twitch because you're gonna all watch it at the same
That
time.
answers my other question.
Yeah.
If someone watching a streamer can stream themselves and have people play, I was looking at this horrifying like mirror in a mirror
I was about to
thing.
say, it's like
Yeah.
infinite.
But the matches
But okay,
happen.
it kicks you out.
Yeah, it kicks
You
you
can
out
only
and it
play
goes,
on their
hey,
stream.
watch this watch this actually happen live on
Yeah.
the
Great.
Twitch. You go on there. The matches happen every 30 minutes, which is usually enough time for people to be done with their Counter-Strike match or their Dota match or whatever. And so then you can all play together or watch this happen while he's drafting or waiting.
Okay.
And then he starts up another map, and then he plays his game. You guys all place down your units. So it was something that was very interesting.
2 questions.
Yeah.
1 question, 1 comment actually.
Yeah.
Does Mixer have an equivalent to this?
Not yet.
Ooh, all right, Twitch. See, that's what happens
Yeah.
when Ninja leaves. You got to think out of the box.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, this is also this was developed completely separately from Twitch, so they might
Okay.
have Mixer eventually involved. Who knows?
Okay.
Okay.
But as of right now, it's just Twitch.
Wow. Smart.
See, that's what competition does.
They
Make
gotta do
people
it.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
My comment is, thank you for having your pulse on the Twitch
Oh, yeah.
vein. Because damn, there's so much I would not know, and that is such a big part of gaming is streaming, and you are on that.
Yeah, I think it just released this week too. So
Even better. Look at us. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Making us
guy.
look cool.
And if it didn't, well, I'm sorry. I found out about this.
And that's so humble.
Yeah, oh, totally. But it's a fun little thing if you do watch Twitch, and the streamers themselves will let you know if they're playing it. And so, yeah, you can play along with them. You can also, when you're on there, it also shows you all the other people who are doing it. So you can also, that's another way for them to also promote their channel. So you will see them on that, and you're like, oh, well, my streamer's done for the night, but I still want to play this game. Let's see who else I can watch to still
cool.
play this.
nice.
And so you can do that. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. Pretty interesting. Nice little meta game within a game.
Another game.
It was pretty funny because like the guy I was watching, he's probably the best or one of the best Heroes of the Storm players, and so he's playing, and everybody's just like, all right, get done with this match so we can go back to the real game.
We've been feeling that with Overwatch for their long queues. They've been adding skirmishes and game modes. So that same idea, if you're waiting for too long, here's something you can play. And we've had the same feeling. Like we're playing this game between the games as a filler, and then we get put into the real game, and we're all like, oh.
Yeah. We're like disappointed. It's like, what? No, I was about to kill someone.
I was about to get the top, or that was going to be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And then we actually want to find ways to make our queue longer so that we can do the skirmishes.
Everyone picked EBS.
hilarious.
Everyone picked EBS.
Everyone DPS.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's impossible. Let's just do it.
It's really, really cute. But
Nice.
I love that they're doing that. Good job, games.
It's very fun, very fun. So yeah, the meta game is called Stream Captain.
Stream Captain.
Stream Captain. Pretty cool though. All right, so Amanda, what about you? What are you playing?
I didn't get a whole lot of gaming in this week because of all of our holiday events on holiday events. But I did play a few hands of Gwent, which was great for the holidays because I could just sit down and play like a quick game between like.
On the iOS mobile stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, nice.
I was a little disappointed because the quest required me to play the Scotiatel, which is like the Elven class, which is not my favorite. I really like the Skellige class.
Oh, the Scottish.
Yeah, so they have different decks, and the decks and the cards do different things. The cards and the deck do different things, but it's still very much fun. won a few matches and lost a few matches. So I feel like it was pretty fair.
Yeah, at least you didn't lose all of them.
At least,
right.
And you've been watching The Witcher as well, which seems like the best way to watch The Witcher.
Watch The Witcher and play Gwent simultaneously. It's just a really good game.
Yeah,
is Gwent in the show?
No.
No.
You haven't seen it yet?
I will not.
No.
I'm not going to get your hopes up.
No.
So
It's just not.
no.
It'd just be kind of funny if it was.
But remember is Gwent in the books?
No, I don't believe so.
No,
I'm saying
it was
just
made
in the games,
by
yeah.
the
It was
game.
made for the game?
I'm not sure,
I
actually.
think they bought the rights for the show from the author and not from CD Projekt Red.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
So I would be very surprised if in the future they didn't have to joint contract with all of them, because I feel like the further they move into content, they'll need
you would
them.
think they would, especially like they were already like greenlit for season 2.
That's additional licensing fees.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I
That's
know.
what they have to.
I know, but it's just like because like no other Witcher games, as far as we know, are coming out or even in the works. But
After the lawsuit that we talked about last week, there have been whispers that
Whispers?
CD Projekt Red is going to
So
make another Witcher
the
game.
engine is slowly starting back up.
It has not
Yeah.
been an official announcement,
Right.
but they're in the pre-works to do another one.
Exactly.
But if you think about it, Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out next year, so that'll probably be the thing they work on after that.
for sure.
Exactly,
Yeah.
especially because they're coming out with all the new consoles as well,
Yeah.
so they can add even
Oh,
more
yeah.
to it.
That'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to call in this favor. AJ, can you find out what the origin of Gwent is? Thanks, AJ.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've
made a call.
contracted his services.
It's
so.
true. It's true.
I mean, he's on the payment. He's on the salary, so
He
we
is.
got to get use out of him.
He is. I was going to mention him later too, so it's good. It's good. We can do a couple of things. But yeah, actually, I would love if in the series, like in season 2, he just like walks by and Dandelion's like, "Hey, what's that?" And he's like, "It's just some stupid card game." And he doesn't say the name, doesn't say anything.
Doesn't say the
But
name,
It's like one of those
nothing.
things that he doesn't realize he likes until after he gets amnesia. And he's just like the best Gwent player.
in the world. He is feared by many through Gwent.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But so like the different, so like the Skelliges and the different things, those are kind of like mages. Like, those are like the different classes of cards almost.
If you've played like Magic the Gathering,
Uh-huh.
it's very close to that in
Okay.
the
It's like different
this
colors.
is blues and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
greens
Okay.
and this is reds. So I would equate it more to that than like the Scotiatel is all
I love
elves
saying
and-
Scotiatel.
Yeah.
Is all elves and dwarves mostly.
Okay.
And then like Skellige is just more like Viking looking people. But I think some of the cards are interchangeable and they're not specific to a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you play, the more you build your deck. And they have other classes. Those are just the two I
Yeah,
like.
those are just
It's different from the version in the game. The version in the game is still my favorite, but this one makes sense for it being online and having
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a time limit and
I
like,
gotcha.
things like that. It's simplified.
It's
There's
faster.
less lanes. So it is a great version of Gwent. My preference is still the one from the game.
I haven't
But
seen
it's
any
still good.
cards that'll clear an entire row. And I remember that from the game is you
Right.
could put like a weather condition
Combos.
down or like a
Yeah.
fireball
Yeah.
and it would kill everything on that lane.
Yep.
And I haven't seen that in the game yet, but probably because that would be horrifically disappointing.
Right. And only when there's 3 lanes versus
Yeah.
like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or 5.
exactly. All right. A nice, good game there.
Manda.
Manda.
Oh man, forgetting names again.
It is. I almost said Jen. And I was like,
heard that.
oh, that's the wrong
Good
podcast.
game, Jin and Matt.
Good game there, man.
And I'm Troy.
Yeah.
Sorry, just just letting it in now for you.
going
Get it
in,
in now
going
for
in.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Troy, what game did you play this week?
Friends, I have to. Every game I've played this month has made me cry. And I'm just on a streak of just these narrative, heart pulling my strings of my heart movies and games. But forget the movies, that too. But I've been doing that too. I've been watching a lot of really good movies and playing a lot of good games. This game I've played also brought me to tears today when I finished it. It's by Me Games. It is an Austrian indie game company. It's a point-and-click adventure called The Lion's Song. Originally released in 2016, but came out on the Switch last year. I saw it randomly. It was super cheap, and it looked like it was up my alley, and it was. So yeah, point-and-click adventure where your choices influence how the story evolves. In 4 chapters, each chapter is a different narrative story, all set in early 20th century Vienna. That's how it starts.
All right.
Now, when you play this game, since it is a choose your own adventure, the big hook is that you're playing as different artists. The first chapter you're playing as a composer, a violinist who needs to compose her greatest masterpiece. She has a concert coming up that she has to make. So she goes to the woods to try and focus. And then you just experience that with her. And what you do influences what she writes. It's raining outside. So instead of sitting inside and trying to ignore it, I went outside and like listened to it. And then the raindrops inspired me to think of my childhood and a sound that came from the puddles splashing in the mud. And then that gets added to the song. I go back inside and someone rings on the telephone. I talk to them and they own a bakery, and I can hang up or I can, talk to them or give them advice. And if you give them enough advice, the smells of the bakery will remind you of something, of your brother. And then, the harmonica that he played and like how that influenced. So the song will change based on your actions and based on if you allow your personal artist demons to manifest or not. You can get frustrated and like give up, and it'll be kind of distorted and kind of angry and not bad, just different. And it's beautiful how it ends with that first chapter of you getting to hear the song that you made based on the choices of this game. You actually get to hear your piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So every chapter involves something like that. The first one is a composing artist who's trying to break out. The next one is a painter who is new and just trying to find his voice. The third one is a mathematician who is on the brink of discovering a new solution to a problem, but is a woman and in a man's world in Vienna, early Austria, and how she deals with the mathematical arts. And then the last chapter kind of ties everything together in a way that is just so beautiful that my jaw was dropped. I was weeping, not ugly. It was a silent, watery tear. One came down.
One tear, just
I
one.
accepted it, and then another one came, and I was like, I think I said, "You mother effers," actually out loud. Once I realized like what was happening, just totally floored. And this game kind of went under the radar. It's a small game, 2016, Vienna, Indiana, a Vienna, Austrian indie developer. Didn't really get a lot of clout, so I was happy to see it on the Switch.
Do you always have to play the games that make the rest of us look like bad people?
Yeah, right.
I guess so.
All the time.
Kind words.
We're going to put that in your bio.
Life is Strange 2.
That Dragon Cancer.
The
man.
Lion Song. I love these games. It's such a so definitely one of my favorite experiences this week. And what was even nicer is the majority of this game I played while we were up at the cabin.
Yeah.
So I kind of had that rustic feeling of being in a cabin while playing a game in a cabin, which just added to it.
Yeah, of course.
And I totally get that plight of being an artist, where you're just like fighting your demons, fighting everything people have told you, doubting yourself, trusting your work. And that's in a game now. Like they convey that feeling in a game.
Do they get the feeling of it being good and then better and then better and then better and then like really bad and then you hate it and then you have to dig yourself out of that pit?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they really do.
Yeah.
And it involves a critic who you admire, who critiques your work, and you don't understand why she doesn't like it, and you have to really dig in to find out what it is.
Wow.
that you need to get over or figure out. And it's brilliant how that resolves.
That sounds great.
Brilliant.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of that game again?
The Lion Song.
Ooh, the last song.
Poignant. Anyway, next week I'm going to play Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
You'd still be really nice to them.
Yeah.
The teamwork that we had, I was like, go forward, and then he took the bullet for me.
They said it was Modern Warfare. I just didn't realize it would take me back.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's me.
Nice.
Good
nice.
week.
Again, always making us look bad.
Yeah.
All right. That's Troy, everyone. So that'll do it for our games. That brings us to our news segment.
News.
So for the last week of 2019, since there's a lot of holidays.
Holidays.
Hanukkah started this week. Christmas started. Kwanzaa, Festivus, everything.
New Year's coming up.
New Year's coming up.
Yeah.
3 days from now.
So news is a little light, which is fine.
Tiny bit.
Which is perfectly fine. So I'll just start off with Xena Saga. They were thinking about doing an HD remaster of it.
Sure.
For modern day consoles. The creator came out, I think in 2015, was like, hey, we're looking into it. I know you guys do want this. We're gonna try to see what we can do with it. This week he came out and was like, all right, it's no, it's not going to happen. And he said that the reason why is because it was progressing. It's just they finally got to the profitability analysis that they had, and they realized it's not going to make back what they would have to put into it in order to make it viable. So he was just like, until the market weather changes or anything else, it's not going to happen. So no Xena Saga HD.
I went up and then I went down.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
Welcome to the
my
Lion
emotions.
song. Or the Dragon song, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have some Saint 14 news there, Amanda.
Yes, for those of you who are playing Destiny 2, we had a return. We had an old friend come back to the tower. Saint 14 died before the events, I think, even of Destiny 1.
Oh, yeah.
No one's ever seen him. And because of the timey-wimey magic of this this current season, he's now at the tower. So you can go talk to him. He's Russian.
Wait, he's back?
Back?
Yeah.
Wait, was there like a big to-do?
There was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
You went to Osiris, you played missions,
Okay,
and then at
okay.
the end of the missions.
All right.
it's
I thought you meant like I went to the bathroom, I got a little bit of some ramen, and then boom, there he was.
It is a little weird because I think there are 3 missions, like story content missions, that you play before he's officially back. But for me, I only finished 2 of them, and then he appeared in the tower, and it kind of ruined the last mission, which I still haven't done for me, because I was like, oh, obviously after I finish this, he's not dead anymore.
Same for me.
So it was you only got to experience that if you were playing them as soon as they came out.
So Destiny really rewards those who are on it.
Right.
Yes.
Which is great.
In
if
this
you can
case was
be.
hard because it was the holidays.
Yeah, we
so
were in a
it was like,
car
I can't.
for like 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's very cool, and the events are fun.
Does he have a deep voice?
He's Russian.
So yes.
I love him.
So yes.
He's got a mohawk. It's great.
He's really
love
cool
him.
looking.
Yeah. Joe thinks he looks like a pair of buttocks.
What?
He has armor, but he has butt armor in his face.
Now I really
His
love
face,
him.
because there's like a line that separates the 2 halves.
But it's like
but it
supple
looks like
and
butts.
shapely, like a butt.
Oh man, yeah.
Butt cheeks.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. As soon as
I
she
let-
said it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh
He's got butt
no.
armor on his
no.
face.
He's got booty armor.
Yeah.
He got booty head.
Got that booty head.
I'm hoping he's the comic relief that we lost with Cade, because he's not the same type of funny, but he's definitely like I've been gone for a really long time funny.
Well, thank goodness.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We
Like
we
Thor,
needed
old
that.
timey,
A little bit,
throwing things
yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling he's going to disappear after either this season or after this year of seasons, just because we've already seen his grave. Like, we've seen the Vex grave, so it's possible he goes back in.
Oh,
Like,
he
this
could.
is just the in-between part.
True.
So we'll see.
Like that wasn't in the past.
Or that
No, that's-
well,
we've
you
seen it.
You saw that inside of the
Yeah, the Vex.
Vexgate, but
yeah.
that's multiple dimensions and
It
multiple
is,
realities.
correct.
So
So
that
it
could
could
be
be-
another timeline.
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
it just the Matrix in there?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the Saint 14 news. And then going back to the game that we all love, and by all, I mean almost nobody, Fallout 76, the game that keeps on giving for everyone but the actual players.
Yes.
Had another bad round of hacks show up.
Oh.
And but this hack actually allowed players using said hack to steal other players' stuff.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh,
and
no.
and by steal, I mean like make them completely naked. Like all they had to do is just be within range of them, so they could just see them and have the interaction of like the R3, press R3 to interact with them. As soon as they had that, the way the hacked work is everything that was either on them or in their inventory
Switches.
stole.
Wow.
Whoa.
So people were losing like all their power armor. They're losing stuff that took them very long time to get. Yeah, and it happened for an entire weekend before it was patched out on Monday.
Did
Oh
the people
my
get their
God.
stuff back?
Not yet.
Wow. That would be the end for me.
That'd be it. That'd be it. Like, cool, I'm done.
The final 10 players are done.
That being said, that community has been hit so hard that at this point, if you haven't quit already,
yeah, I know.
I think
this is just the game.
I know.
The game is just getting effed over.
I played Skyrim when I would lose my save by walking into water.
Right.
But I still, when I came back in that save, had stuff. I would just lose 2 hours.
Exactly.
That's like losing the whole thing.
The whole game, yeah.
Like, I'm sure they'll do something, but they just haven't as of right now.
They got to find a way to punish the people that are hacking.
I mean, they did. I'm sure they got rid of them, but it's still one of those. They still haven't gotten back their stuff because I'm assuming there's some sort of logs that they have that they know who had what. But
is this just on PC?
I think this. I didn't see the specific console or anything.
AJ, fact check, since you are also our Fallout connoisseur.
Yep.
One of the 10 people playing.
Yep.
Could you please get to the bottom of this for us?
Absolutely.
See who has been punished and what console this happened on.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah, it's as of a week later. Still nothing. Still nothing.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Mehdi, finally, you have some Witcher news.
Yeah, this is just really fun. So the Twitter has been all a Twitter about the Witcher. They would like Mark Hamill to play Vesemir.
Nice.
And apparently it got so much attention that Mark Hamill replied, and he said, "I have no idea what this is or what this is about, but I agree that it could/should be played by me."
Mark Hamill for the win.
Vesemir is the Witcher's mentor, kind of a father figure as well.
Definitely.
Yep, that works.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Eagle Rocket.
Yeah, he's his Obi-Wan.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
And if you check out our Twitter, you can see a side-by-side picture of Vesemir and Mark Hamill and decide for yourself.
He's just a lovable old tough dude.
He is.
Which sounds like Luke to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. Especially that Last Jedi Luke, all the way.
Oh, yeah. I think that's hilarious that even he's just like, sure, I can play it. Like, this is another round of conventions I can skip. Yeah. Sounds right up Mark Hamill's alley. All right, so I'll do it for the news this week.
Lewis. Sorry, Brian.
That's fine.
Lewis. Me and my wife, we celebrate Christmas, and Santa Claus is involved with Christmas. And we kind of looked at the table as Santa Claus was coming to town, and we thought, you know what? Usually Santa gets cookies. That's what he gets. He gets some really crispy cookies.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think we should put something else out. So usually Santa Claus gets some crispy cookies. But I was thinking, you know what? This year, let's switch it up. Let's give him something else. But, I had so much fun in Christmas. I forgot what I put out for Santa Claus. I just don't remember. Do you have any guesses of what it could be? Was it like
about like what you put out this?
For Santa
cookies.
Yeah, it wasn't crispy cookies.
It has to be better than cookies.
I don't think it was savory Snickers.
It wasn't savory.
No. Was it milk?
We had some buttery Buckeyes.
Oh my god.
Milk. Brian, can you say that again for me, please?
Milk?
Yeah. That's our host.
That's right.
Yeah. Some buttery
Buckeyes.
Buttery Buckeyes. I had some buttery Buckeyes. Santa did not get any of those.
Oh, because we ate them all.
We ate them.
Right,
Sorry,
right,
Santa.
right.
No.
How about some bourbon Buckeyes?
Ooh.
Whoa, drunk Santa crashing the reindeer.
Oh man. No, I don't think
it's
it was
not
that.
it.
It wasn't that.
can't quite-
Probably.
It was something that I put out.
Something quite tasty.
It was tasty.
It was tasty, right? That's what it was. It was tasty.
You're jogging my memory a little bit now.
Definitely.
It was a tasty something, but I don't know what.
Tasty truffles?
Tasty truffles?
No,
Right?
it wasn't
No,
tasty truffles.
No, it wasn't truffles.
Tasty turtle doves? Little chocolates?
No.
No, that can't be it. I don't even own those. I think it was discontinued in 99.
I haven't seen those. Tasty toffee? No, that doesn't sound good.
It almost sounds good.
It almost is there.
Almost.
That's almost there. How about you, Joe?
What could it be?
I got nothing, guys.
Nothing?
I got nothing. I don't eat a lot of sweets, so I don't really know the names of a lot of sweets.
Mandy?
I don't know. You think maybe a tasty topic?
That was it.
That was definitely a red zone for our microphones.
That would be so disappointed for Santa. Is he comes and there's just a plate with a list of disgusting discussion topics.
He just looks at it and goes, those are some good ideas.
Santa, what did you learn this year?
Oh man, huh?
I would have preferred the cookies, but thank you.
I'll guess.
Oh, it's food for thought.
No.
And then breaks your presents. Yeah. He just breaks all of it.
Why do I just have coal?
So for those following along, Tasty Topic is just a topic that we delve a little deeper on. And we got a good topic this year.
Yeah, we can mine it like coal.
Oh, God.
Ooh, all right. 'Tis the season. But this year, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Troy, you have our topic, or start us off with what we're thinking about for our topic this week.
So our tasty topic this week is 2019. That's right. We are here at the end of the year, and we want to take a look back and kind of delve into the year that has been, maybe a little bit about the year that will be.
It's never been a better time to play video games.
It has not.
Yeah.
It has never been a better time to play video games than right now. 2019. This is the best.
Agreed.
So, I would like to know from you all, what were some surprises from this year for you?
Surprises?
Yeah, from 2019. I can go first to give you guys a
go for it.
think.
Go first.
I would say one of my biggest surprises this year was the launch of Apex Legends. This was a game that nobody knew about, a battle royale game from Respawn, and EA, who had just had some problems with some other games like Andromeda, Mass Effect. And then here comes Apex Legends, drops out of nowhere, is available. As soon as I heard about it, it was available. And not only does it bring a really great game, but it actually furthers a genre of games, which is the battle royale stuff. It made me like battle royales on a whole different level that I wasn't even prepared for. And I played that game for months. And I still have it on my consoles because I keep wanting to go back every once in a while to see what's happening in that game.
Yeah, same here.
Very much so. For me, it would be that Final Fantasy VII Remake actually got a release date.
The biggest surprise of them all. That's a surprise of the decade.
Yeah, like I was expecting, it'll be eventually. It's like almost like how the Final Fantasies have been recently, where it's just like, it's coming out. Yeah, don't worry, we're working at it.
Or the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my God.
Just all those. Just, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just like, March 3rd, 2020. It's like, all right, let's see how quickly that gets pushed back. And here we are 3 months beforehand, or almost 2 months beforehand, and it's still holding strong. So we'll see how it goes.
It looks like it'll come out.
Yeah. So that's my biggest surprise this year.
I think mine would be Later Gator. Because I bought it because it looked really cute, and then when I delved into it, it was just so much funnier than I thought it was going to be. It was just, and that's not a knock against the game. It was just this perfect blend of like silliness and humor together.
I'd say it's the funniast game of this year.
Yeah, it's so
Easily.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I laughed out loud by myself. That's how funny it is.
Those are great. Those are great. What about you, Joe?
I think I really like the Nintendo Online console thing. Them continuing to add games to it was completely surprising to me. I was shocked at how many they had in the first place. So I was really excited about playing some of the older games in the Switch.
And then they did Super Nintendo as well.
Yeah, and then they did the SNES, and I was like, I can't believe this is still even happening. Like, I really did not think they were ever going to add anything else after that first run through. I'm like, you can have my $12 or whatever it was. That's fine, but... It was pretty great. Then a lot of those games, they're really classic and they're wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great feature.
Yeah.
Surprise for me, I guess, was seeing Overwatch on the Switch. That was a weird thing for me, mainly because I'm like, that's a game that's purely online.
And I surprised myself by buying it.
Yeah.
Also not surprising.
It was surprising because, a big thing of the Switch is you take it with you and you can play games wherever you are. But online doesn't exist wherever you are. Yeah. So it just, I'm like, I guess that game will work.
Hey, unless you're AJ and you have a cell phone that allows you to hotspot.
That just purely operates as a hotspot.
And it works really well. It's good for parties.
There's 2 people who are on that, and it actually worked pretty well.
Really? Wow.
Tetris 99 has the same problem, which is also a big surprise this year.
Yes,
Tetris 99.
Yes,
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
But that has the same problem where it's a game, it's a battle royale game.
Yeah.
You can only play it, when you're online, but
I think the biggest surprise about Tetris 99 was that it was actually good.
It was
like, it wasn't just like a battle royale. It was like, this is a really good,
it's a good Tetris
version of it. Yeah.
And since then, they've added co-op. They've added ways for you to play by yourself if you don't have, online capabilities against the computer and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
They added
awesome.
Ranked modes, like.
Which is why I'm
hell of a game.
Excited for super random thing, but Overwatch 2, because it's going to have that kind of offline option for the first time kind of thing.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Amanda, do you have any other questions?
I do. I thought it would be nice to highlight some of the games that like maybe you were hyped for, but then they didn't quite turn out the way that you wanted it to. It's just like the missed expectations.
So can it be either good or could it be positive or not?
Sure, if you want to take it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. like for me, the biggest surprise was Death Stranding, and it wasn't as weird as I was expecting it.
Okay.
Like it was still like very weird, but it was like, but it's Kojima. It's got Mads Mikkelsen. It's got like all this stuff. Like for me, the weirdest thing about it was that it had an advertisement for a currently running show.
Oh, I was not a fan of that.
Out of nowhere, like that was to me was the weirdest thing about it.
With the character in the game.
Yeah. But what? And it's AMC. Does that exist at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does.
I'm like, that studio still runs?
Yeah. So that's what it was for me. It's like, that's just weird. It's not as weird. You know.
Mine was Stranded Sails. I was really looking forward to it. It was like Harvest Moon, but you had a ship.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was one mechanic in it that I just couldn't get over. Is you had a meter for how far you could walk/run, which like they have that in games. I'm fine with that, but your walking speed was so slow, and then in order to run you lost all your energy, so you'd have to like get food to get more energy, but then like I didn't want to walk anywhere.
So I'm not here for this type of game.
I was like where it was the type of thing where something that would have taken you a minute is going to take you 5 minutes.
Yikes.
Because you've run out and I was just like, I can't do it.
So it's not even like double, it's like 5 times speed.
Yeah, it was
no. That's a no for me.
More like standard still. Stills.
Stranded Sails.
Good tries.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
What about you,
Biggest
Troy?
disappointment was that last joke I tried to make.
Fair enough.
No, mine's a big one. Anthem.
Yeah.
Man. I wasn't sure it was going to be a great game. I wasn't hoping it would be a great game. It just looked like a lot of good promise, and I wanted to buy into the promise. And then that promise was real shallow.
Yeah, we all had our like worked out.
5
which
of us
gonna do.
5 of us bought it.
Yeah.
We played together. I'm glad you did as well.
Yeah.
The loading times. Oh my goodness.
I played the demo and I was just like, what is
Troy genuinely
happening?
fell asleep.
And it was
Loading.
good sleep. I'll give it that.
Yeah. And I did enjoy it for what it had. It's just for what it didn't have was
too
everything
much.
else.
It was too much.
The gorgeous landscape and the flying mechanics for all that good tech to not have any like substantial payoff or substantial world to really dig into, it made it really disappointing. And I'm mostly disappointed for the developers because I know they wanted to make something much bigger and grander and fuller. It just did not work out for them.
To be honest, if it had the armor and the load times weren't as bad, it wouldn't have been like my favorite game, but it would have been. I would have finished all of it. I would have played it. We'd probably still be talking about it. But
it's probably the only reason why I was able to finish it is because I have the the SSD drive, which the loading times weren't terrible, but I knew I knew they were still pretty bad considering I had that much load time.
Brian's got that monster PlayStation Pro.
Yeah.
Like we're PlayStation professionals. You're like a PlayStation master with your Frankenstein PlayStation. But yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm also disappointed I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Understandable.
For me, it'll have to be Kingdom Hearts 3. That was the disappointment of not even the year, not even just the year, man.
I thought you liked it.
What? That's false. Never have I ever said, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, go play it. No.
I heard it was short. I heard a lot of people said
it was
short.
very short, and also speaking of Frankenstein, it was a Frankenstein of a game. It was just like looked like it was slapped together.
It was.
Are you getting the deal? Are you gonna get the DLC?
No. No, I already paid the money for the regular game, and I waited 10 plus years. That game was a disappointment, not of the year, of the decade.
Dang.
Of the decade. Because half the time it just felt
Man, he comes back from New York. He's all hard.
Yeah.
Because half the time I was just like, you would go to a world and it's like, all right, cool, do this thing of the world, which had no effect on the actual story.
Yeah.
You were literally told in the game, oh, just go to these worlds while we wait until you're strong enough to do the main story. I'm like, okay, so none of the worlds actually affect the main story.
So it's like forced side quests.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much. It's like, yeah, you're not strong enough yet. Go do some stuff on other worlds, but it doesn't affect the main story. So, and also there was like some laziness, like on the Frozen world, it's essentially just the movie, and it happens to be that Sora, Donald, and Goofy are in the background every once in a while.
You get the whole movie.
You get the whole movie.
Honestly, the more people talk about that, the more I really want to see it. Like, it's kind of reverse working for me.
Like the Elsa sings "Let It Go," beginning to end.
Wow.
The whole song, like going up.
Does Goofy sing backup?
You would wish and hope, but no, you just like see him in the background every once in a while, almost like waving.
He'd be like, "Wow, the cold really bothers me. I don't know what's wrong with her."
I wish,
Yuck,
but that
yuck,
game was
yuck.
just like, yeah, the gameplay was fun, but the game as a whole was just so disappointing, not worth like plus 10 years of hype.
Understandable. Let it go.
Just let it go. Oh god.
Oh, man. Such a good title for the podcast.
That belongs on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Let it go.
God.
How about you, Joe? Did you have any?
Yeah, I was super disappointed with Jump Force.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like hyped as heck about that. 'Cause
I heard that
Looked
game
beautiful
It
when
is
I
so
when you
pretty.
saw it,
such a good
you know?
promise, like a Street Fighter Smash Brother combo with
jump
shonen.
characters,
With
and I was there.
anime
I was
and-
there for all of the Naruto goodness I was going to get out of that, and I got nothing but walking and speeder biking and retarded, stupid, trying to get to open world areas.
Really?
Oh my god, the gameplay itself was fine. Like the fighting was okay. It was very like. I'm going to compare it to Battle Stadium DON, which is not what the fighting was like, because Battle Stadium DON was at least fun.
Right.
This was not fun. This was like the Jump Stars game, like that 3D realm type thing.
Oh.
And it was just boring. And the worst part was trying to walk between the worlds. They give you a little bike. They would give you some like a skateboard essentially, and you had to forever go to all the different little areas and then continually skate through them and continually go. It took forever just to start fighting.
Yeah.
That just
It's
seems
boring.
like the game didn't match the trailer.
It didn't.
The
Not
trailer
at all.
looks
Yeah.
like frenzied action,
The trailer looks
fighting.
intense.
As soon as you got
fun.
to the fighting, it looked like that. It wasn't fun, but it looked like that.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like just imagine, you know how Anthem you had to walk to all the different people in order to get everywhere. Imagine that, but just much bigger.
Okay,
Like you had to
I
walk
gotcha.
much further and,
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
I was so
Well,
disappointed.
you know what? It's the misses that makes the hits that
Exactly.
much hittier.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's funny because I was.
Speaking of hits,
yeah. What were you thinking of?
Oh no, because I was saying I was hyped for Jump Force as well, but then after it came out, first of all, I didn't hear anything when it came out, and then I didn't hear anything after, so I just assumed, yeah, that game bombed.
You should have, if you had been in the back room every once in a while, Anthony and I would just start cursing up a storm about how awful it was. We were so
God.
upset.
And now, do you have any questions, Lewis?
Yes, actually, I do have some questions. 2019, just we're rounding out the end here. So, of the year in gaming, do you guys have any memorable moments?
Oh, yeah.
Most memorable moments from a video game.
Yeah.
Okay, just one of them.
Just one.
Just just one. Just I have one. I can
Go
start.
for
yeah,
it.
start us
Go
off.
for
Yeah, I was playing Days Gone, which wasn't, again, that's a game that I was hyped for and wasn't as great as the hype. But there was a moment when I was driving a motorcycle being chased by a horde, and I was essentially hurting them because I stopped, and then I went towards the horde, then I skidded, and I turned around. I didn't see what was behind me in the camera.
Yeah.
And as I turned around, immediately rammed into another motorcycle. I paused the game, and then I did like the camera mode to see what everything looked like, and you see the person on the other motorcycle with like their helmet just being smashed
This
into
is just
me.
another person riding
another
the road.
character just like smashing into me full force as I'm smashing into them, and you can tell that person's dead already. Their body's like flailing around, dead, full contact. I'm like, this is insane.
And then a full zombie horde.
A full zombie horde behind
me.
me. And then I fell off, and they were still coming by, and I started throwing things and then hop back on. It was the best moment that I had in that game because it was so out of nowhere.
That's awesome.
That is hilarious because it's a 2-lane road. You're both on motorcycles, which aren't very wide. And you still somehow hit him head on.
What are the odds?
And they were driving towards me.
Why were they driving towards the horde?
Good question. Amazing question.
You saved them from a horrifying death.
Yeah.
You ended it quickly.
With a horrifying death.
Or at least a quick horrifying death.
Yeah, it was just pure. It was one of the most honest moments I had in that game that I in no way could have planned any better than what it was.
That's the beauty of open worlds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't seem so open every now and then.
Yeah, but that was my memorable moment of the year. Yeah.
My moment happened after a game, actually. Death Stranding ended. It was kind of mixed. I really liked the gameplay, but the story didn't really hook me. I liked connecting with different players and different people across the world. I loved that. But by the end of it, I was kind of like positive, but not over the moon on it. We went on our trip to Tennessee, and we drove. And during one of the legs, I was driving, and I got to drive, I think, out of Florida into Georgia, and and then it happened. It freaking happened. This is probably 2 weeks after I finished Death Stranding. Mm-hmm. I saw a bridge in the distance. Everyone is watching like the Grinch behind me, so I can't see it. So I'm in my own world.
Yeah.
We get to this bridge, and we're crossing over it, and it's just a beautiful, like, the water's below me, Georgia's in front of me, Florida's behind me. And in that moment, I just thought of Death Stranding and like all of the kind of moments of serenity that were in that game. And then I started thinking about the bridge that I was driving on and remembering how I built bridges in the game and how I forged highways and how, people saw that highway and were able to tell me that they thank me for building that highway. And I had like a genuine, sincere moment on the road where I was like, kind of thanking whoever made this bridge, whether it's the Congress people who got the money for it, or the actual workers who put it together, and the people that have passed on it. And then I started thinking about all the people that have benefited from this bridge. And then I started thinking about every bridge that's been made, and then all throughout, not just America, but like the world. And I was like, oh, I get it.
And we were like, Troy, please watch the road.
And then that's when you heard.
Yeah, I start crying again. Damn it. I can't stop.
You understood Kojima's message.
It clicked. Yeah, seriously. Like I understood the purpose of connectivity and the importance of community. Yeah. And like I've understood that before, but it hit me through the gaze of the game, and I had like a real moment, and it made me appreciate that game in a whole new way that I didn't before.
Yeah.
Nice. And doing that, I mean, I feel like the story in the game is almost like background to literally everything else in the game.
It's background to your story.
Background to your story
that you experience as a player.
And your story is background. Like, it's you experiencing the background of this game.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, nice. I like that it takes you in an outside moment, takes you into the game.
And the sun was setting. It was hitting.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh. It was so beautiful.
That's awesome. Joe?
I have one. It's going to sound a little odd because I can't remember the name of the thing. But while Brian was playing Sekiro, this is wasn't me playing, and this is probably one of the most memorable things I think I experienced the whole year. While Brian is playing Sekiro, there's like a snowstorm happening. It's early on in the game, and he like creeps behind something, and it's all white, and like you see a red eyeball pop out of it. It's a giant white snake, and this thing like slithers out, and Brian's like trying to run away from the snake, and I'm just like cracking up because there's this giant snake chasing him.
You love it when your husband's in peril.
It was, I do. It was just so funny. So he runs into this shack. Marriage. So he runs to the shack, and then like all you see is white on the outside of the little like fabric blowing in the wind and the snow coming down. Then like he's like, what do you do next? I'm like, I don't know. I think you gotta stab it. The snake's eyeball comes right up against the thing, but because he was still learning how to use the controls in the game, essentially, because I do think it was kind of early on.
It was very early on.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to kill that snake. I didn't know that, so I'm like, stab it, get it, and then I felt really bad when he got it in the eye. I was like really sad about it. I was like, this poor snake, he's just trying to find something to eat. Yeah. It's snowing outside. He's an oni, like, dude, this poor thing, like you stabbed it. You made it so it was like only had one eyeball after that. And then it chased him down, and then it just kept killing him. Like, it happened like 3 or 4 times, which isn't normal. Normally he just kind of like breezes through things, and I get very jealous. But it was nice to watch him die a whole lot.
It was nice to watch me struggle in a video game.
It was so beautiful. It was so nice that it wasn't me.
You feel the pain.
That's so good.
That poor snake, man. It was a great moment. Like, really, I think you're supposed to stab it, and then like he starts like hitting the A button or whatever it was to stab something, and it didn't work at first. It totally didn't work at all. The first couple times, it just he didn't move the thing to walk out to stab it in the eye, and it was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I think the very first time it didn't even come, like the snake's eye didn't even come in front of me. I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I like got out of it, and the snake's like, I got you.
It just ate him. It was so crazy.
I thought this is what we were supposed to do.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to stab it. I don't know where.
It's a video game. You're definitely supposed to stab it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's a stabbing thing.
It's a stabbing game. And you have a sword. You know what to do.
Poor snake.
That's pretty funny.
Thanks, Brian.
For me, it was in Outer Wilds. So your ship, everything has inertia. Everything, you're in the, you have planets that all have their own gravity. So depending on the size of the planet is the size of the gravity that it exudes on you. So there's this one like asteroid/comet that's going around, and you can land on it. So this is like very early on. I was like, all right, cool. I can actually land it. So like I actually like worked out my vector, got it in. I got with the orbit that it was doing. So I was like, all right, cool. Land on it, sweet. So I get out of my ship. I was like, all right. I start looking around. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. And then I look back, and my ship is floating away. I was like, oh no, it didn't have enough gravity to hold my ship down. And then I look back, and I'm now also floating away. And I was like, uh-oh. And I look, and I'm like, oh, I don't have the speed to catch up to my ship. I don't have the speed to catch up to that asteroid. So like I opened up my map, and I'm like, all right, what's coming towards me planet-wise? And I'm just like, I just had the in like my brain, like, oh no, like an actual feeling of dread, like a pit in my stomach, like,
you had your gravity moment.
I'm stuck nowhere. I can't. So I'm like trying to work out my vectors. I was like, all right, there's a planet coming around. I think I can land on it. So I'm like it's like you have your jets, so you can like, I'm going towards
planets rotate fast in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I plan it. I see it in the distance. I'm like, all right, I think I got this. So like I work out my positioning, do my little Pythagorean theorem. Cool. So I work out it, and I'm like, all right, oh my God, I'm actually going to make it. Wow. So like this is after like maybe 10 minutes of me trying to get to this thing, figure out everything. So I finally get to it, and it's one of the planets.
Did you land on the planet?
I landed on the planet.
Nice.
But it's one of the planets that's completely like enshrouded in like clouds. So I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to this planet before. So as soon as I like get through the clouds, it's a planet that just has constant tornadoes.
Oh my God.
And it's like nothing but like water spouts and everything. I was just like, I landed on the wrong planet. I had that moment of like, oh, I'm safe. I'm not safe.
I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm
dead.
So dead. I'm so dead.
Like I land in the ocean, and the planets aren't very big. So I'm like, I'm like looking, I'm like, all right, where's this next tornado? Because they're also constantly moving as well. They're not just in one spot. So I'm like, uh-oh. So like I make it to land, and I'm like, all right. And now I wait.
You still don't have a ship.
I still don't have a ship, but at least I'm not going to at least I can experience something new in this game. So like I made it onto shore, and I'm just like, all right, cool. And
that sounds awesome. Getting stuck in space and then using your resources to survive.
That's actually pretty
That's a
amazing.
good moment.
The game is the sun resets, and so I was just like, all right, cool, time to wait it out. And I waited for the music cue, and I was like, here it comes. At least I know what this looks like. So yeah, that was for me. It was just like, oh, yeah. Oh no.
Beautiful moment.
And an actual pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
I never thought I would get that from a video game.
Right.
I was like,
yeah.
All right. So yeah, that was for me. How about you, Amanda?
Mine was the Wish Ender exotic bow quest from Destiny. I will never forget doing that quest.
Oh yeah.
We went insane working on it. It's
Good point.
It's a dungeon, so you can only do 3. So it was Troy, myself, and our friend Carlos, which we had on the podcast previously.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was definitely one of the things where you've sunk enough hours into it. I was like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And that last, oh my gosh, it was the final boss of us just going and doing it again and again and again and again and again. But that moment when you finally beat it, and then there was just like this weird euphoria where like you're laughing for no reason because you've been doing this for like 6 hours. guys look,
just jumping up and down, looking at your bow, looking at other bows.
And I think that the triumph or the trophy for doing it says like, I will never do this again.
Yeah, it's just never again.
Never again.
That's
never
how
again.
annoying
Never
it
again.
was to
That's
do.
hilarious.
Wow.
That's awesome.
The bow's amazing though.
Oh yeah.
The bow is worth it.
So it was worth the aggravation.
It was.
So
and
that's
it was,
good.
Yeah,
That's
good memories.
So the feeling of pure euphoria followed by, oh, this was worth it.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, it would have been terrible if we went to use it and it's like, I don't know, it doesn't handle quite right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nice. I like those throwbacks. Which brings me to like Joe and mine's kind of like two-parter question, or it's going to be like a two-parter for us.
Right.
We were thinking, so is there a game that you guys have played this year that you maybe put down, maybe you went on vacation, maybe another game came out that you never went back to and finished? So we were wondering, is there one of those games this year that you're like, I wish I would have had more time, or I wish I would have gone back and played this? And it's going to be a two-parter because the secondary parts of this is I would like to challenge you to play this game.
No.
Within,
Yes.
we'll revisit this. So I'd like for us to go back to it, to make a mental plan. This is the game we're going to come back to.
You don't know what my game is.
I'm sorry. That's why I said it now. You can change it.
Nope. Nope.
Stick to it.
You don't have to finish it. Just go back and play it some more. So that way, attempt to finish it.
Okay.
But, I'd like to go back to and revisit it. Like, was it worth it?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so that's our two-parter question.
Okay.
I'll start us off. For me, it is Dragon Quest XI.
Okay.
I got into it. I got pretty far into it. I challenged myself with it. And then so many other things came out at that same time where I just didn't go back to it. So I would like to go back and actually finish Dragon Quest XI. I'm debating whether or not to pick up the new edition that's for the Switch, or to just continue my save that I already had on the
Just
PS4.
continue.
I'm continuing because I'm like 30 hours in.
Right.
I'm continuing. It's just still one of those like lingering things like, oh, but it could be a little bit better.
You can play it on the go.
Yeah. So that's my game.
Okay.
It's Dragon Quest XI.
Nice.
Nice.
I think after hearing you talk about it the last few weeks, I might go back and finish my time at Portia. So I put 77 hours into it.
you
I
did.
should just finish it, right?
I mean,
You
yeah,
should.
That's
Right?
a lot of time.
You
That's
should.
a lot of time.
It is pretty good. I have been playing it.
And
It has been pretty good.
You've been talking about the mining, and I was just like, oh, I could spend hours just in that mine, just making shapes in the rocks.
Yeah.
It's very zen. I'm all for
It
that.
is. Nice. I like it. Lewis?
Me, I will have to say Control. I played a little bit of it, and I actually played a good amount of it, but a lot of other things just got in the way, so I had to literally put it down and just step back.
It's one of the best games this year.
I know. In playing it, I loved it. It looked beautiful. The story was fascinating. The gameplay was cool. It was a mystery that I really wanted to uncover. So I'm excited to.
It's definitely worth it for a very good 5 to 10 minute chunk at the end. And you'll know it when you're doing it.
Okay.
It is completely worth
Totally
this
worth it.
chunk towards
Absolutely
the end.
worth it.
Okay.
Completely worth it.
Yeah.
Again, the
You're
character.
trying to think
You
of
know
that
what it
chunk.
is.
The
You can't
character
think of it right
in
now,
the
but you know.
game also says that was totally worth it.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it is.
Now you remember. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Or no, she says that was awesome. That's
Yeah,
what she
it was
says.
awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. I can't
So
wait
the
then.
character in the game also thought it was awesome.
The
So it was
character agrees.
Also one of the best moments this year
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
part.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
good,
very
good.
much so. Joe?
I really, I'm torn. I need to finish Pokemon, and I need to go back to Luigi's Mansion.
Ooh, pick
I
one.
am still. I think Luigi's Mansion is what I think I
There it
need
is. Go with
to
your gut.
finish.
Yeah. Go with your
And
inner
that's 'cause
Luigi.
right? Yeah, I love that series of games, and I can't believe I've only gotten to like this 5th or the 7th floor on it, and then Pokemon came out.
He's just there, stuck, scared. You
Yes.
gotta help him out.
He's
Gotta
in a
get him
corner.
through this.
He's in a corner.
Mario.
He's just waiting for you.
calling for Mario.
Waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, you're his Mario, Joe.
You're his Mario.
And now I've saved the best for last because I want to figure out what this game is that you are dreading having to go back to.
Guys, it's Anthem.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah. This whole year, I haven't deleted
the
it off our
one?
file.
No, we
in my
haven't.
head, I was like, we're gonna finish it at the end of the year. We're gonna finish it at the end of the year, no matter what. And it just didn't work out. Just other stuff to play. And
Yeah.
Now
do.
I have to finish it. Now I have 2.
See, this is why I knew this was collateral. This decision had collateral with it. But I am interested to see what they've changed, what they've added. I know some new armor has been in there. They've had to fix something in the game.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
So I want to go back and see what's different and also just kind of put a button on it. Also, we spent so much time in that game. We put a lot of time in that game that like I want to actually have some closure.
They have a winter event.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Also, I think they have the same amount of players, if not slightly more than Fallout 76. Still playing.
Well, they're
They
about
have
to have
11.
they're about to have 1.5 more.
Nice.
I'm the half.
What? Oh,
You're the one.
Troy's
I'm
the
gonna be-
one step in.
I'm gonna be asleep for half of that time.
All right, so yeah, we'll revisit it. I think we'll give it a little time, not a specific time frame, but I do think we should go back during a later tasty topic
Great.
and put a button on it.
Right
Yeah,
on.
So yeah, so yeah, I think that'll do it for this tasty topic for you guys.
Agreed.
Which now brings us to our Dragon of the Week.
Or Dragon of the Year.
Ooh.
It's the Dragon of the Year. Yeah, you can leer. It's the Dragon of the Year. It'll bring a tear. Dragon of the Year. Well, Dragon of the Year, formerly known as Dragon of the Week, was our chance to reflect on the industry, person, place, thing that really drove us to want to learn more.
Yeah.
But it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we're going to dragon up this year, aren't we?
That's right.
Ah, yeah.
By taking a look at us.
Yeah. Take a look at the year and what's been driving us to do this podcast.
And those that have been driving there with us.
Yeah.
As well. So I just want to generally talk about the podcast and just see like, hey, what your guys' thoughts on it after our inaugural year here in 2019.
That's right.
And so kind of generally just pop up if you want. Or were there any like just fun, memorable moments that you all had while doing the podcast this year?
I really enjoyed our Dragon Quest Builders saga. I know we only did 3 chapters. We never really finished it out.
We
but
do have people who are waiting on that.
It was very funny. It was watching your faces as Caitlin and I described how there were shirtless men in a bathhouse, and that was like a genuine level. Was
like
very
surrounding
great.
a child.
Yeah,
In a bikini.
It went from me
just kept
being
getting worse.
Yeah.
it went from me being interested in your story as you two to me being interested as a soap opera. But by the end of your series, it was just straight telenovela. And I was like, yes, I'm in for all of this. Tell me more.
But again, legitimately, there are people who want to know the finish of this, so we do have to go back to it eventually, and finish and put a button on that. For me, it's the Mushu hate.
Oh man.
I'm glad you guys came back on that because I know you guys were initially on that. You guys were kind of going high, and I went real in on Mushu.
You hate Mushu. And this is
much.
for our How to Rank Your Dragon series on Instagram, where
Yes.
we rank every video game dragon in video game history.
Yes.
Brian consistently argues that Mushu should be the worst ranked dragon of all time.
Agreed.
We don't.
He created a new category for ranking.
That's
right.
correct.
That's right.
Yep.
We'll go into that later.
Yep.
But yeah, every single time it's like, all right, well, how bad is this dragon? I was like, well, it can't be worse than Mushu. And I have agreed with the ones that we have put below Mushu.
We've had to work for it, though.
You guys have worked for it, and I have agreed with it. I still did not rank them lower than Mushu, but the consensus was below Mushu. That's fine. But yes, that for me has been my constant love of the hate of Mushu for me personally.
So if you'd like to purchase a holiday gift for Brian this year,
Oh,
Mushu
man.
merchandise is high on your list.
The best.
Oh no, Mushu merchandise, that's an alliteration. It's got to happen now. But yeah, that is my personal one.
Right on.
How about you, Joe?
Oh, I don't know. I there's so many moments in time.
It's been a fun year.
It really
it's been nice
has.
doing this.
It really, really has. I think I don't know. I really loved talking about the different composers. And about like 3 or 4 dragons in, we had realized how many composers we had chosen, and
already
like the wizard, the magical music wizards, and like it was just there were so many. I think that's one of my favorite things.
We had to make a conscious effort not to talk about composers.
That moment when we all realized we just like music.
I think that's one of my favorite things ever. I actually getting that Nancy Drew game. I will say that game actually coming out that week was like a really fun week of like, are we gonna do this? Are we really doing this? We're gonna play that Nancy Drew game? Oh my gosh! I mean, we probably regret it now, but maybe not too much, right?
Right? Yeah.
No.
What?
It's so worth
that was
every
fun,
hour.
too.
We're 2 hours in. We're fine. We're still
It's
going.
better. There's a
Some
ghost.
stuff's
It's
actually
amazing.
happening.
Only 2?
This is why Brian's leader. The rest of us are like, can I make a sandwich?
Can we just like eat sandwiches?
You could eat
instead?
a sandwich while we played. It's fine.
I expect sandwiches at hour 3.
Oh no.
Yes, agreed.
Hey, listen, we got some pumpkins. How about you, Lewis?
For me, it was you know what? It's the titles. Coming up with the titles for each episode.
Oh yeah.
Just picking out like the weirdest thing that people say within the episode to be the title.
So many good titles have hit the cutting room floor.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Some of them are just too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually too long.
That's usually what it is. Also, like we started off with like just something that we said in the episode, and now it's just like no, that was just fun stuff that we can come up with that we talked about in the episode.
Because we started thinking about the audience who's just seeing the title, may want to know what the what's in the episode.
Yeah.
So now it's finding fun ways to incorporate silliness with.
We like puns
What's in it?
and rhyming
Oh
and
yeah.
alliteration.
I've seen all of those. It started with like, oh yeah, you said that dumb thing. Put that dumb thing as a title. And now it's like, guys, we have to think about it now. Okay.
It's fair. I like it. How about you, Troy?
One of my favorite moments is as we were coming up with like the song for Dragon of the Week, and as we were riffing off of the tasty topic thing, we kind of had those 2 we were playing around with, and then I think it hit me where like we didn't have something for our first segment, which is what are you playing? And I didn't talk to Brian. I didn't talk to anyone. I just looked and said, we don't have anything for what we've been playing, and I just literally threw it into Brian's lap, which is a horrible thing to do. And I was like, what do we do, Brian? And I don't know what came to you. I don't know what Phil Collins God was working with you that day, but you just busted out the drum solo.
I did.
From I Can Feel It, Colin
in the air tonight. In the
air tonight.
Yeah.
And you just busted out that drum solo, and I was like, perfect.
That's it.
Genius.
It is done.
That moment was legendary to me.
It was double good for me because I didn't know it was Phil Collins. I was just like, go on. Yeah, great.
That was
amazing.
amazing.
Oh man,
what?
why are you composing music?
What are you composing?
What are you composing?
Yeah, that was pretty dumb that week. And also the way this is on the same time, but like the way I came up with, or the way that we collectively came up with, like the podcast that everybody listens to, and then we started talking, and like you were telling me about how like your sister started listening to it, and and then your cousin.
If it's everyone, then it's got to be everyone.
And then I was just like, oh yeah, then the podcast that all of you sisters out there listen to, and then it just continued on
then
from
mothers,
there.
then tadpoles, then pencil cases.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, I haven't thought of anything. Lamps.
Whatever I see.
Lamps.
That was it a couple of times. I think it was pizza was one of them, because the
Wizards.
pizza was wizards. Yeah, was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think I like the reverse of it too. It's not just it's for everyone except this one person.
Yes.
Like every couple of weeks it was like a new person. Oh man, we just love Matt Smith. Oh man,
He's not a loss. It's fine.
Gosh, no, he's a great guy.
He's a
really
good
nice
person.
man.
right?
You just have a weird hang up with his look.
Yeah.
You just think he looks weird.
Just don't look at a picture of him.
Fine.
He looks normal sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Those are all like
Yeah.
fun moments.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But yeah, and then we also have what else do we have to talk about with this topic?
Dragon of the
Or
Year.
this Dragon of the Year.
We wanted to talk about what everyone learned from Dragon of the Week. I know we talk about this a little bit when the podcast ends, but we always like end the Dragon of the Week, and they're like, oh, you know what? I didn't really look at it this way, or I hadn't thought of it that way before. I know for me, I think the biggest one was Enan Zur. He's a composer, and what I didn't realize is that he had composed not just for the game that I was looking him up for. Obviously, I was looking him up because he wrote the music for Dragon Age, but there were so many other games that he had written for that I loved, and that was surprising.
It's a fun twofold thing where we look up an industry individual to tell everyone else, but then by doing that, I learn a lot more about someone that either I didn't know about or I really admire. For me, it was Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokemon. I've grown up with Pokemon. I know of it. But to hear his story about just starting as a kid who liked to collect bugs.
Oh, Dr. Bug. Yeah.
Dr. Bug. Yeah, Professor Bug. And then just the way that he was just a fan of video games and started a magazine to like help people play video games. And that magazine turned into his appreciation of love of how there isn't a game out there that's good in the way that he wants. And then that magazine turned into Game Freak.
That magazine was Game Freak.
That magazine was Game Freak and then turned into the publisher Game Freak. That story to me was just so beautiful of how that's like a Miyamoto story.
For sure. Yeah.
What about you, Lewis?
For me, another composer, Gustavo from The Last of Us, learning that he plays all the instruments in that game. Yeah. Any instrument you hear, he's the one playing it. And I'm like, oh my God.
And he's like self-taught.
Yeah, he's self-taught. Yeah. He can't read music. He can't write music. He just comes up with it all.
He had to do it all himself. He couldn't explain it
to anybody else. It's like, okay, but what do I do with this drum? You do that noise? Just do it like this. Just do that. Can you do that? Can you just do that for like 30 minutes? I don't know.
Just do it until I tell you to stop. Thanks.
Just until I say stop.
That man has a gorgeous look to him. He
does.
Is such a presence. When you get a chance, go on our Instagram at Taste of Dragons. We have all the industry dragons pictures and bios and stuff. So check that out.
Oh man, he looks epic.
He is beautiful.
He's the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Troy actually does something that we don't really talk about on the podcast. Is whenever he finds a picture of a person, he looks for a picture of a person smiling.
Yep.
So it's always like them at their best.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, smiling. There's a lot of very serious, stoic. I'm very serious about games pictures, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I want the one with the smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's the best way. For me, it's just finding out how many people don't actually have a degree but it has nothing to do with games,
or how many people didn't start off wanting to make games
and like they didn't even play them when they were younger. It's just like, oh yeah, I guess I'll try this, and it's like, oh, and now they are like the best at it. And it's just like every single time we come with a new dragon, and you guys have heard it at home where it's just like, and this person got a degree in sculpting. Here they are doing this, and it's like, what? That doesn't correlate at all. So for me, it's one of those like, oh, so there is hope for anyone, no matter what degree you have.
Anyone can make a game.
You can go out there, and make a game or be a part of the gaming industry.
Inspirational.
And it's awesome. It's awesome to me. And then Joe.
I really it actually is kind of the same thing. I loved the story about Jade Raymond and how she produced more than even wrote or develop or create. And I had never really thought about the people who push the idea of a game and help actually market that game to different places and different companies. And sometimes it works out really, really well, and then sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that she has helped create some of the longest lasting franchises across multiple consoles, I think it's amazing. And I had never heard of her, and her story is amazing.
It's cool hearing about the artists and their story, and also cool hearing about the people who are giving the artists a platform to tell their story.
Yeah, the unsung heroes, definitely.
Nice.
So I've found that amazing.
So. Yeah, nice.
We've learned a lot this year.
Yeah.
Which is good for the Dragon of the Year.
I would hope so. Oh god.
We also wanted to. We learned a lot about actual dragons this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely like a surprising aspect of our dragon.
Dragons, wyverns,
furry dragons,
ice dragons, furry dragons, animal dragons, Pokemon dragons.
Some as big as your head.
We learned that all dragons are invincible except for one thing. One thing.
Being in a video game. So our other feature on Instagram, how to rank your dragons. We're ranking every video game dragon in video game history. Because of that, we've had to look at criteria of dragons, the way they look, their story, what's their narrative, what their powers are, how powerful they can be, what their relevance is, or what their social impact or pop culture impact is. We've had to kind of take all of those things into account when judging a dragon.
Correct.
And because of that, we've learned a lot about different dragons and what our likes are.
Yeah, we made a new category that we added on top of that.
We have those 4 categories, and the new one.
And the new one is spite for Brian.
Yes, spite specifically for Mushu, but it is all
in
encompassing.
general.
It does. It does affect other people as well.
It's
exactly.
Spite /
Flash, I was
bias,
about to say.
Yeah.
So it's a nice sandwich.
Yeah. Listen, these are our opinions. If I thought a dragon was going to be ranked 5, and then you don't like my sweater, guess what? I'm thinking that dragon is number 20. Boom.
Done.
Spite, baby.
I think it's worked out well for us, enough.
We got a nice list of 31 now. That's 31 weeks or 32 weeks we've been ranking dragons.
Yeah.
So
Wow, it's a forever quest.
I mean, we were already dragon experts, but I do feel like continuing to educate yourself on dragons week to week is important.
Refine the tool.
Game.
Exactly. Yeah. Also figuring out what is a dragon, what could be a dragon.
Right.
Just because as a dragon name, does that actually mean it's a dragon?
Does that make it a dragon?
Yeah.
Charizard. Mm-hmm.
Apple.
Exactly.
Yep.
Apple.
Not a dragon.
An apple is a dragon.
An apple is.
Applin's an apple.
And then we also
it didn't rank very high.
Of course not. Come on.
We also have a bonus category that we've realized. Is there something cool about it, like a theme song?
Yeah.
If a dragon
bonus.
has a theme song, it gets extra points.
Absolutely.
I always give it extra points if it has eaten or maimed a princess.
Oh,
that is that's just historical.
Right?
That's just you have to.
It's a good dragon quality.
It
like
is.
classic
Also,
dragon stories.
Extra points if that dragon has sick abs.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Them
We do
dragon
that.
abs.
We do that. Yeah.
We have done that multiple times. We're just like, that's a really good dragon, but man, it does not have abs.
It's like it's slipping.
It's got to go down.
Slipping.
So yeah, it's been a good year learning about dragons and video game dragons. There's dragons on here. When we thought about this joke fun thing to do, I thought it may last maybe I don't know, a couple months. But there are so many dragons in video games.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We haven't even scratched the surface.
No, we still haven't done Bahamut.
Yep.
Or Shenron.
Oh, yeah, we haven't
Tiamat.
done Shenron.
Yeah.
Bowser, I think, is a dragon.
Yep.
I think Yoshi may be a dragon. I'm just saying, he breathes fire sometimes. but like, we haven't even tapped into some of these really big hitters yet.
And I
so that's incredible. Alduin.
Yeah, and I promise you next year we're probably going to see new dragons.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was definitely like we were watching the
E3.
Game Awards.
Yeah,
and
Game
E3,
Awards.
and then it's just like you'd see a preview of like there's a dragon in that.
It's like write it down.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's going to be probably more than 52 dragons added every single year.
Oh my god!
So we're probably
will never
going to end.
It will never end. There is no cap.
It's perfect.
There is no cap.
It is, and it's great. And if you guys at home haven't seen these, we do put them on Instagram.
Yep. There's a story there you can click on to see them all.
Correct. Yeah. And we have a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys have fun with it as well, because I mean, some of the criteria we just come up with or don't come up with is just stupid.
It's just nonsensical, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And we'll be looking on the website to put a nice list of all the dragons and give a little bio for all of them, maybe.
Yeah, for both the video game dragons and dragons of the week, we'll be doing all that stuff.
For industry dragons and video game dragons.
Correct. So, yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I agree with you, Troy. I was not expecting it to be what it has become.
And it will be a forever thing.
Exactly. Which brings us to our last topic, which is you, the audience. Yeah.
It's you all.
Yeah, you guys, really are what makes us do this. I mean, we started this because we're like, we like talking about video games. Let's talk about it on directing towards a microphone.
Yeah.
Record it, and let's just see what happens.
We would meet for Taco Tuesdays every week and have this conversation, and now we just have a microphone.
Yeah.
And it's on Thursdays.
And it's on Thursdays. Yeah.
And still talk about it on Taco Tuesdays. Let's be honest.
No, on Taco Tuesday we go, oh, we shouldn't talk about this.
It's like we can't talk about this right now.
We start and then we stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to play more video games.
Remind me on Thursday.
Yeah.
Or like you say something funny, you're like, save it for the podcast. 2 days. That was really good. Save it.
Write the joke down. Write the joke down.
When I say this again, you guys have to promise to laugh.
But yeah, it's definitely. But then it's also become you guys as well that are listening to this. I mean, we have you guys all over the country, all over the world.
So we found some fun facts to kind of throw out there about the audience. Can we share them?
We have 333 subscribers across California, Florida, New York, Michigan, and Canada.
Wow.
And over
Snaps.
1,500 listens.
Snaps,
and that is
snaps.
all thanks to y'all.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very much thanks to you guys, because I know we reached our 1,000 download actually not too long ago, and we've reached an additional more than 500 since then in a much shorter time.
Woot woot.
So
This dragon train's rolling.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll hit 2,000 in 2020.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
That's right.
2,000 for the win.
And that's all thanks to you guys. We know hopefully you guys are still listening to us from MizuCon.
Yeah.
Some of you are friends, some of you are family.
Tate's customers.
Yeah, Tate's customers. Some of you guys are, just happen to find us because you're searching for a baseball podcast. Found Tater Talk, which led you to us, Taste of Dragons. Yeah.
6 degrees. It's a
It's
beautiful
right.
6 degrees.
So yeah, it's definitely thanks to you that we are not that we are enjoying this, but because of you guys, we are enjoying this so much.
And since we couldn't have done it without you all, we also couldn't have done it without our special guests throughout the year.
Correct.
So we want to give a very heartfelt shout out to Zach and Marlene, and Carlos and Anthony, Jen, Jordan, Christian, the whole Tater Talk crew. Lewis, thank you for coming back.
Always.
And spending, the 2 weeks that you could be with your family.
Oh, yeah. My sister is waiting alone somewhere.
And with your other loved ones to be here on our podcast and on our features.
Always.
Truly appreciated.
That's right. And then also thanks to Zach and Caitlin, even though they are not here with us anymore.
The original crew, which was Zach, Caitlin, you, Brian, Lewis, and then Joe producing.
Correct.
Thank you all for having this idea to start this.
Hey, thank the group name generator that came up with Taste of Dragons.
Oh, man.
I think I only had to press the button like 5 times,
It's
and then
gold.
here it was.
5's a good number.
And now we range everything from taste to dragons.
That's right.
And then back to taste, and then back to dragons. But
to
man,
sandwiches.
Yeah, we will milk that name for everything it's got.
That's right. So yeah, I mean it's been a pretty great year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has definitely reframed how I play video games.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's giving me not a more critical eye, but definitely is making the games that I play last longer after I've played them.
Correct. Yeah, and even more so, like, all right, I've been playing this game for like 3 weeks now. Let me see if I could incorporate something else, so I can have something else to talk to.
Yeah.
During the actual podcast, and I can share it with everybody else.
It's a fun challenge.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us a reason to justify the amount of hours that we spend playing video games.
Oh, man.
Yep, thank you.
So sorry, no, it's for the podcast, and I
It's
gotta
like,
create.
I gotta do this thing.
No, I'm not playing video games. I'm creating content.
Yeah. And, when people ask me how much do I play video games, I go, don't worry about it.
Not nearly as much as these guys.
Yeah. It's like, you think I play a lot? Listen to these guys.
So I look forward to taking our video game friend diary, our public video game friend diary into the future.
Exactly. And I think we started in March, of this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're almost at an entire year. So we've had almost the entire year.
I'm here talking like this is
this.
I'm
Oh,
here
man.
talking like this is the end of the year.
No.
Yeah.
I've decided. I'm like,
No.
bye.
But like even before then, like we had started this about 6 months before we actually put it on publicly.
Right.
We figured out what we were doing, what we wanted to have it around, and then Troy came on, which was great, and then Manda came on. Which
I was filling in for Troy.
Yeah.
she was, but that was that was an audition. We just didn't know.
Secret audition. Secret.
So yeah, I mean, and I think Troy was also a secret audition because I think he was filling in for Lewis for that week, but. He decided to stay with it. Manda decided to stay with it. So very much thank you guys for coming on
thank
and
you
doing
guys.
it.
It's been fun.
Thank you for coming back, Lewis, whenever you're down.
Always.
Thank you, Joe, for editing these episodes and having to listen to us multiple times
It's so
throughout the
fun.
weck.
And for jumping on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and special thank you for Joe for doing all of the things we don't understand.
I got you, fam. I got you.
So thank you guys for being a part of this journey. and doing this with us. Thank you to the audience.
And thank you to Brian for hosting.
Oh,
for being
yeah.
our fearless leader.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm so happy I can forget your guys' names weekly.
Multiple times.
There's during Tater Talk, when we first started doing that, which is a comics podcast, the first couple of episodes, I started off the episode because I'm also the kind of the host / moderator of that. But I just started doing the exact same thing I was doing with this. And then I was introducing everybody, but saying your guys' names. And I was just like, oh, I can't do this. I can do everything else. I just cannot do the opening. Because I just get into a groove, and then that's just how it is.
Yep.
So yeah, like, thank you guys for everything that you do. As I already stated, it has been a very fun year so far.
Yep, it's been a good adventure.
Yes.
I look forward to the next year of adventures.
Correct.
Can't wait. It'll be dope.
See where it goes.
I want to say thank you to Troy and Amanda as well for taking care of a lot of our social media stuff.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
my God.
I don't think you understand how much I appreciate not being the one who forgets to upload things. You guys are so awesome.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have any of that stuff. And you guys are like, we're going to do it. I'm like, please do. That will help all of us.
They single-handedly take care of all of it. So everything you see and love, it's them.
Yeah. Yes.
They take care of making sure you get to visually see things. It's awesome.
They do a great job. I love Troy coming up with the little pictures.
Oh, man.
The Instagram.
Picture,
I loved when you did the wrong, I think you put Outer Worlds instead of
Not
Outer
to be
Wilds.
confused with Outer Wilds.
Correct.
This is why I'm legally obligated to say it.
Yeah. If you look back, you did do that the very first week I talked about the Outer Wilds. I looked, I was like, oh, that's the wrong one.
Just going to keep it.
That's fine. It's good enough.
That's what our fact checker AJ is for.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? And thank you,
Yeah.
AJ.
AJ, thank you. I knew we were forgetting someone.
Yeah.
AJ, our man in the fields.
Yeah, bringing some stability and truth
Ish.
Truthish
to us.
Yeah. So, had a great adventure with you guys, and I look forward to many more, 1,500 more downloads, another 40-something episodes.
Sweet.
What?
We're coming up on our year anniversary, so we'll see what we can come up with that.
We're going to bring the fun.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the games.
Bring in the noise.
Bring the funk.
Bring in the fun.
Yeah.
No funk. No.
No funk.
No fun.
No
fun.
No funk. No funk. Just fun.
Also, no D. We're not bringing the D.
No, we're
That's
not bringing that back.
I'll bring the D.
Lewis.
No.
No.
That was 2019, Lewis. We need a 2020
You're
Lewis.
right.
Well, it's
Someone-
still 2019 Lewis. He's getting it out one last
Yeah,
time.
that was the last one of
Someone
the
cut
year.
his mic. Someone turn around.
Pull it out. So yeah, thank you guys so much. But that brings us to the end of this episode and the end of this year.
Hooray!
Hey!
Rabble.
As always, we have recorded live upstairs inside of Tate's Comics, powered by our friends at 3000 Brigade. Great group of people. You can find us online.
That's right. Find us at Taste of Dragons on Twitter and Instagram. You can check us out on YouTube as well with our new segment, Drew's News.
That's right.
So look out for some creative content. We advertise with content.
That's right. We don't just advertise. We do it with content.
Yes.
It's not just a picture. It's a video.
No, it's
it
new
is
stuff.
something.
The picture will move and
Yeah.
will say things. Some of those things might be funny.
Sometimes.
Every once in a while.
Who is our dragon this week?
We'll be ranking Akka, the dragon from Animal Boxing, whose twin brother is Seiryu,
Ooh, our ab dragon.
otherwise known as the dragon with abs. And let me tell you,
yeah.
the abs are real with Akka.
Nice.
So look forward to see where that dragon ranks.
Yeah.
All right.
Coming up.
I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, that'll bring it to the end of it. So, as always, my name is Brian.
My name is Lewis.
My name is Troy.
Amanda.
And I'm Joe.
Have a great...
And we are.
And we are...
You're so
One more time. We got it.
Before the year is over.
It's okay. One last time. We're going to get it right next year. It's fine. And we are
The Taste of Dragons.
Have a great year, everyone.
I almost cried, Brian. I almost cried again. Now I laughed. So thank you. You made me laugh.